Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, I want to discuss one subject with three chapters. The subject is neo Nazis in Ukraine, and the chapters are C-14, Svoboda Party, and the Azov Battalion. I will, obviously, it's a lot of information, and I will read some of it. I will try to make some comments, but let's get started. So let me put my little binoculars on, and I'm going to read this from Wikipedia and other articles regarding the three chapters. I'm going to start with C-14. So C-14 is a neo-Nazi Ukrainian nationalist group founded in 2010. In 2018, it gained notoriety for its involvement in violent attacks on Romani camps, Gypsy camps. And then I read here that the C-14 was founded in 2010 as a youth wing of the ultra nationalist political party Svoboda. C-14 was one of the far right groups active during the Euromaidan movement. That's the toppling of the democratically elected government in 2014. Right from November 2013, November 2013 to February 2014. They were involved with skirmishes with the they were pro-government supporters known as Tituski. In 2018, alongside the Azov Battalion's National Corps Party, C-14 was recognized by the U.S. State Department's Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor as a nationalist hate group. All right, let's go here. It says here that the group, the C-14, shares the Azov Battalions and Social National Assembly's neo-Nazi aims. Open Democracy commented that C-14 combines generic, healthy, patriotic messages with subtle hints which can be easily deciphered by members of the subculture, such as the symbolic date of the Roma program of Hitler's birthday, or indeed the very name of the organization. So we go here and says that the group's name has been seen as a reference to the 14 words slogan coined by David Lane, an American white supremacist. Academic Anton Chekhov-Stov has defined the organization as a neo-Nazi movement. C-14 leader Yavhen Karas has repeatedly defended himself from attacks, calling him a Nazi. According to Karas, his confrontations were mainly with non-Ukrainian ethnic groups that he said control the country's political and economic forces, whom he identified as Jews, Poles, and Russians. Free Europe/Radio Liberty reported that members of the group had openly expressed neo-Nazi views. All right, let's see what we have here. So I'm gonna go with the party. The Svoboda Party. So the Svoboda Party, it's called the All Ukrainian Union Freedom, and referred to as Svoboda, which is an ultra-nationalist political party in Ukraine. It has been led by Oleg Tianibok since 2014. And we have here Ideology. I, Ideology is ultra-nationalism, Ukrainian nationalism, right-wing populism, economic nationalism, social conservatism. Political position, right-wing to far right. All right, let's go here what we have next. So they were the party was characterized as a radical right-wing populist party that combined elements of ethnic ultranationalism and anti-communism. During the 1990s, it was accused of neo-Nazism due to their recruitment of skinheads and usage of neo-Nazi symbols. And we're going to see the party's symbol as well. Um, so let's see what do we have here. It has been also widely considered as a neo-fascist, neo-Nazi, and anti-Semitic party by multiple journalists and organizations. Now, the, they use the Social National Party of Ukraine. They use the neo-Nazi Wolfsangel symbol used by the SNPU as the idea of the nation. And I will show it to you on my phone so you remember that when you see it. So this is a symbol. All right, this is it. Okay, it's a neo-Nazi symbol. We go, it says here, at that time it was still the Social National Party of Ukraine. It changed its name to the All Ukrainian Union, Svoboda. All right, and it abandoned the I plus N Ukrainian idea of a nation, and they got the Volkswagen logo, a symbol popular among the neo-Nazi groups, with three-fingered, that I just showed you, hand reminiscent of the Trizub pro-independence gesture of the late 1980s. Svoboda also pushed neo-Nazi and other radical groups out of the party, distancing himself from its neo-fascist past while retaining the support of extreme nationalists. It says here that Yuri Mikhailshkin, who was a Tikhanibok advisor, who topped the list of Svoboda's Lvov branch in the 2010 municipal council elections, founded the Internet Joseph Goebbels Political Research Center. The center later changed Goebbels for Ernst Jungen in 2005. All right, let's move on. They participated in elections. They had about 50% of the votes in Lvov, in Lvov and Kiev, in the western part of the country. They have the biggest support, and in the eastern, where is the mostly ethnic Russian, they don't have a 1% or something. All right, let's move on. Now, in 2014, after the coup that was held also and was promoted by the Western nation among the United States, we know that, and then we had even our late Senator McCain going over there and being on the same stage with these Nazis. You can look online and see that. It says here that Yatsenyuk government was formed on 27 February after the government was toppled, the elected government, democratically elected, and it had three ministers, Svoboda ministers. Deputy Prime Minister was from Svoboda, Alexander Sich, Agrarian Policy and Food Minister Ihor Shvaika, and Environment and Natural Resources Minister Andriy Mokshuk. Party members were appointed governments of, and gives you a number of places where they were appointed. All right, and it says here that on just a little event here on March 18th, 2014, Svoboda members posted an online video of party MPs beating acting national television company of Ukraine president Alexander Panteleimonov and trying to force him to sign a letter of resignation because he broadcast the Crimea accession of the Russian annexation, not annexation, but it's a spell here, annexation of the Russian Federation ceremony in the Kremlin. In the video, this guy broadcast was called state treason by Svoboda MP Miroshinchenko, deputy head of the Parliamentary Committee of Freedom of Speech and Information. Okay. Now we talk about Azov Battalion. Now Azov, it's called Azov Special Operations Detachment. Okay, or Azov Battalion is a right-wing extremist and neo-Nazi unit of the National Guard of Ukraine. So this neo-Nazi paramilitary group is part of the Ukraine army that fights right now for a president and a prime minister who are both Jewish. How is that? And I'm not lying. I know that's a fact. So you got the Nazis fighting for two Jews. I mean, that's a fact. You're gonna do some intellectual gymnastics right now and figure out how is that possible and give me a 13-year-old justification. Okay. All right, let's go. This is the Azov Special Operation Unit logo. All right, and I'm going to show it to you. It's like the other one of the Svoboda, but to the side. Instead of standing up, it's to the side. Here it is. Remember? All right, good. So when you see videos with Ukrainian soldiers having this kind of badge, which they are, you know who they are, okay? It says here in 2014, the regiment gained attention after allegations of torture and war crimes, as well as neo-Nazi sympathies and usage of associated symbols by the regiment as seen in their logo, featuring the Volkssangel, one of the original symbols used by the 2nd SS Panzer Division Das Reich. Ooh, so there's no doubt, there's no, what can you do about it? It's right there. We have here that representatives of the Azov Battalion say the symbol is an abbreviation for the slogan Ukrainian for national idea. Okay, and deny connection with Nazism. Well, in 2014, a spokesman for the regiment said around 10 to 20% of the unit were neo-Nazis. In 2018, a provision in an appropriations bill passed by the United States Congress blocked the military aid to Azov Battalion based on the grounds of their neo-Nazi ideology. Now they are National Guard. In September 2014, the Azov Battalion was expanded from a battalion to a regiment and enrolled into the National Guard of Ukraine. Okay, that's good, I guess. Okay, let's go. Human rights violations and war crimes of this battalion. Reports published by the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, OHCHR, have connected the Azov Battalion to war crimes such as mass looting, unlawful detention, and torture. An OHCHR report from March 2016 stated that the organization had collected detailed information about the conduct of hostilities by Ukrainian armed force and the Azov regiment in and around the military operations. Ideology. I'm going to show you the emblem. Emblem is a neo-Nazi. This is the emblem of featuring a Volkswagen and Black Sun, two symbols associated with Nazism. So this is it. So keep that in mind. Let's go to the next one. So it was described as a far-right militia with connections to neo-Nazis. We remember wearing the neo-Nazis and SS symbols and regalia and expressing neo-Nazi views. The group's insignia features the Wolfsangel and the Black Sun, two neo-Nazi symbols. Azov soldiers have been observed wearing Nazi-associated symbols on their uniform. In 2014, the German ZDF television network showed images of Azov fighters wearing helmets with swastika symbols and the SS runes on Hitler's infamous black uniformed elite. All right, let's see where we are here. In 2015, a Polish war correspondent gained access to one of the Azov bases located in the former holiday resort of Mayak. Azov fighters showed to him Nazi tattoos as well as Nazi emblems on their uniforms. Now we have Sean Walker wrote in The Guardian that many of Azov's members have linked with neo-Nazi groups, and even those who laughed off the idea that they are neo-Nazis did not give the most convincing denials, citing swastika tattoos among the fighters and one of who claimed to be a national socialist. According to the Daily Beast, I don't know how credible that is, the Daily Beast, some of the group's members are neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and anti-Semites, and numerous swastika tattoos of different members and their tendency to go into the battle with swastikas or SS insignia drawn on their helmets make it difficult for others to believe that they are not. Then the guy who wrote in The Nation, it says that post-Maidan Ukraine is the world's only nation to have a neo-Nazi formation in its armed forces. Michael Colborn of Foreign Policy called it dangerous neo-Nazi friendly extremist movement with global ambitions, citing similarities between the group's ideology and symbolism and that of the 2019. I'm not gonna go. It doesn't matter what's over there. British political scientist Richard Sakwa writes that Azov founding members Andriy Bieletsky, leader of the neo-Nazi Social National Assembly, SNA, made statements about a historic mission to lead the white races of the world in a final crusade for their survival, a crusade against the Semite-led Untermenschen, under people, below, whatever. An ideology he traces to the national integralism of 1920 and 1930s. So it's just in 2018, the U.S. House of Representatives also passed a provision blocking any training of Azov members by American forces, citing its neo-Nazi connections. The House had previously passed amendments banning support of Azov between 2014 and 2017, but due to the pressure from the Pentagon, the amendments were quietly lifted. This was protested by the Simon Wiesenthal Center, which stated that lifting the ban highlighted danger of Holocaust distortion in Ukraine. Connection to anti-Semitism. More than 40 Israeli human rights activists signed a petition to stop arms sales to Ukraine, arguing that Israel is selling military-style Tavor and Negev automatic weapons to the Ukrainian government, knowing that some of these arms end up in the hands of the right-wing Azov militia. Despite accusation that the group is anti-Semitic, some members of the Jewish community in Ukraine support and serve in the Azov Battalion. I repeat, despite accusation that the group is anti-Semitic, some members of the Jewish community in Ukraine support and serve in the Azov Battalion. One of the most prominent members is Nathan Gzazin, leader of the Jewish Hundreds. So Mr. Zelensky, who's Jewish, has these Nazis in his army fighting the ethnic Russians in the east. That's how it actually happened over there. That's what happened. Plus the Ukrainian military. And we say that what? There are no Nazis over there. And the US knows about this Azov Battalion, the US intelligence, right? They know about the Svoboda, they know about the C-14, they know about all these things. When Putin said this a while ago, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago, saying about, we invade, we do whatever we do in Ukraine, so we rid the Ukraine of the neo-Nazis, the mass media here in the United States laughed in Putin's face and they ridiculed Putin. How can he say that when you have a Jewish president? Well, there you have it. You have Jewish people who are members of this battalion, for instance. And who knows what's the connection between that guy, Zelensky, and the Azov Battalion or the Svoboda or C-14? It's very weird. So these guys know who those are, but then when you call, a spade, they ridicule you. Why? Because the audience, they give the audience their coverage is of a 13-year-old person, child. Now, out of the people who are above 13 and understand things differently, that's a small minority, obviously, fringe minority, as Prime Minister Trudeau said. So this fringe minority is too small to do much. That's why they think. So they will impregnate this 13 and below adult population, with this uh, um, ideology and this propaganda, and I don't care about the other ones that they say, what are these guys saying? That's a lie, or that's not the way it is. They make the right connections, but they don't care about that. Like in elections, you look at your groups that you got to target, and you don't care about groups that you're not going to win over there. So you don't even try and to influence those groups to vote for you. So that's what's happening here, and you can look at the information. You can just go on Wikipedia, the easiest way to go and check. There are the sources that you can check. There are videos on YouTube discussing and uh, you know uh, telling you about all this C-14, Svoboda, and Azov Battalion. So I was just trying to make a little bit of a history and a connection between these three chapters, and the fact that the people in charge here, United States, Pentagon, politicians, big business, they are aware of those guys. They are aware, and they still say what they say and they do what they do. Now the thing is, their megaphones, the corporate mass media, they continue the party slash um, um, clubs line, and they say whatever they need to say. And if you don't inform yourself, you're just gonna bite like a little fish, and that's it. You get caught by their stupidity, and by repetition, they will obviously condition your brain to think the way they want you to think. Well, that's it for today. I hope that uh, this information was helpful. And until next time, stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Ciao.